Hey, happy Thursday. Happy first Thursday of the month of June. Happy Pride Month. Um, for this month, for this week, we will be drafting disaster movies per Americana slash underscore Allen Instagram influencers topic, and our special guest drafter this month after because school is out is none other than teacher extraordinaire Terry.
Hello. I'm
Who has
assuming that's me.
yeah, that is. Although Kyle is the teacher extraordinaire too, but he's always
I
here.
know. But
He's
he's usually on here, so
he's
I'm the
usually on.
guest.
So we'll let you take that title. We'll let you be the guest on that. Jamie might be popping in. I left him a link as always. And Shannon, is there any? Hi, Jamie. Speaking of which, Shannon, is there any confinement to your topic?
No,
Uh-oh.
disaster is broad. It can be a movie about actual disasters. It can be a disaster of a movie. The limits, we don't want to limit ourselves. I don't want to limit anyone else, you know?
All right. No limits. And it's disaster or disaster of a movie, which.
Or however you would define disaster. Like maybe it's, maybe it's a rom-com and things go awry, you know?
It's a disaster for all of them.
I don't want to limit anybody.
All right. So let's begin with TeeVee. Terry.
I'm
101
ready.
disaster movie. What do you got, girl?
It is a disaster movie. Godzilla -1, which came out this year in 2023.
Godzilla -1?
Yeah, it's really good. It's on Netflix too.
Which I no longer have because
Right.
technical
But
difficulties.
Godzilla in this one, they went back into the old Godzillas where he's not necessarily a friend of people. And he's just like tearing up the place, like on purpose.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I saw it in theater.
It's a Japanese movie.
So he's tearing up Japan?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes. I mean,
so many people.
Purposely. He's just stomping on things and breaking things.
So in Godzilla in the regular movies isn't doing it on purpose?
Not like this one.
Okay.
No, yeah. This one definitely is not for people. The Godzilla nowadays, they kind of make him the champion of the people sometimes as being a monster. He's still.
They'll make him a monster, and then another villain, another giant monster shows up, and that's the actual villain. It's like Godzilla.
Yes. Maybe humans are the actual monsters.
And this one.
So
Godzilla's just trying to save their
away. So
not us, but save the rest of the species.
Oh, spoiler alert! Sorry. I'm gonna learn so much about disaster movies today. I have a feeling. I love it. Shannon.
Okay, so I'm at school once more, and I have to look like I'm working. I am, but I'm also here with you all. So
and we appreciate
it's like
that.
I'm like 90% here with you all, 10% here with these people. So my 101 pick, and it's because I've watched this movie the most of all disaster movies ever. It's the second time I ever cried in a movie. The cast is perfect. The movie, it might be propaganda, but I don't care. I love it nonetheless. My pick is the movie Armageddon.
Damn it! I am going to ask people not to pick one because I have a limited supply.
Well, you know what? Listen, I knew that would probably be on someone's list, and I was sniping it. And I was really hoping to go first, but I'm so happy your sister went first, and I'm so happy that she picked Godzilla -1 because what a great pick!
Damn
it's
it.
A tremendous pick. Now, is it Armageddon? No, it's the second time I ever cried in a movie. The first time I ever cried in a movie was watching Transformers, the 1986 animated movie. Optimus Prime died. I was 9. I didn't know what was happening. This to say, soundtrack, just the one Aerosmith song, unbelievable stuff. Bruce Willis, this is like prime Bruce Willis basically. This is some really good Michael Bay propaganda, like flags waving, people praying around the world, things are getting destroyed, like somebody has a one-liner, it's so good. And I know somebody was on the pod at some point, like either early this year or last year, and they were like, Armageddon does not hold up. Wrong.
I think
incorrect
it is.
take. It's rewatchable at almost any point in my day, any time of the year. Oil drillers go into space. Get out of here. The only thing, and this is the thing, was like they didn't know. Like, should Owen Wilson have stayed alive a little longer? Yes, absolutely.
Spoiler alert.
They didn't know what they had on their hands. The scene where they're collecting everybody, like they're like, oh, well, you'll find him. He'll be the only guy in
Yeah.
Wyoming on a Harley, like only black guy in Wyoming on a Harley. Like, incredible. Like, all that stuff, incredible. I could go on and on and on because that movie is just almost perfect. It's just so good.
It is really
So,
good. I
um,
totally agree with that.
Yeah.
And to have have your daughter make out to a love song that you're singing, that's just like awesome. Like, you go, Steve Tyler.
Well, she and Alicia Silverstone were like featured in most of Aerosmith's videos anyway. Like they were
Certainly in the
music video
90s.
girls.
Yeah,
in the
but
90s.
and that trilogy, it was mostly Alicia Silverstone. Like,
Yes.
yeah, which I'm
And
I'm
you
here for
can't
that
blame
too.
them.
I
Yeah,
know.
no, not at all.
Yeah, not at all.
Um,
Not at all.
Apparently,
Yeah, the
Liv
movie's-
Tyler wasn't even nepotism. She was cast without them knowing she was Steven Tyler's daughter. So she really did.
yeah, because for a long time she didn't know, like they didn't know they were
Right, yeah. That's strange,
like
yeah.
daughter
Father.
father.
Oh, interesting.
So that's my number one pick because I've watched it
Excellent
the
pick.
most. I could watch it anytime.
Good choice.
It's so good from beginning to end.
All right. Whatever. Cross one of mine off. That's one less I would have to do. All right. Kyle.
So I'm going to go with something that's a little pertinent to now. They did just come out with a new Planet of the Apes movie. I think it's Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes is a new one, and Kevin Durant, a Canadian actor, is one of the. I think he's a Caesar. Fantastic. He did a super job. Great actor. Canadian. I gotta go with the Canadian propaganda. However, that's not going to be my choice. I haven't seen it yet. But the first of this new series of remakes started with Rise of the Planet of the Apes in 2011. I thought that movie was phenomenal. I've seen the original Planet of the Apes, and in that movie, there was so much evoking of some of the things they did in that original movie. I thought it was a very good representation, recreation. I guess technically it would be a prequel or the. I guess it's not. There's not. No, I think there's more than three, so it's not a prequel anymore. But yeah, I just Rise of the Planet of the Apes. I thought it was phenomenal, and the disaster doesn't really strike until the very spoilers. But yeah, there is something that really kicks off, and we see in the future films more the effects.
Rise of the Planet of the Apes. Is that the one with James Franco?
It is the one with James.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
It is worth a watch. That series, my wife likes it more than me. Even she loves watching those movies.
Really?
Yeah.
Woody
okay.
Harrelson was in one of the other ones, War for the Planet of the Apes. I thought that was another phenomenal one too.
Yeah, there's like Dawn, Rise, and War, and now there's something else. Kingdom.
Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes.
Yeah.
I believe
All right.
Rise was the first one. That's what I'm going with anyway. I hope
Rise
I
of the
said
Planet
the
of the
right one.
All right. Before I pick mine, not before I go. Well, before I pick mine, I would like to remind everyone that Going for Two is sponsored by Underdog, and it is now coming up on NFL season, which is like my wheelhouse. There are other things going on, like the basketball playoffs or finals or whatever is starting. Kyle reminded me that CFL is starting. Not reminded me, told me because I didn't know it was starting. So Underdog covers pretty much every sport that has 3 letters in it. So if you want to bet, you should really just go to Underdog Fantasy, tell them we sent you, and you will get up to 250 bonus cash to play. If you have a gambling problem, however, don't do it. I don't know the number to call, but there's a number. Don't call me, call someone. So, yeah. Jamie's pick is Catwoman because it was a huge disaster of a movie. I'm guessing he means Halle Berry's version of it.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, was there another Catwoman movie made? I know there was another Catwoman, but she was in Batman
So,
Returns, right?
Jamie took,
I think he means Catwoman the movie
yeah,
with Halle Berry.
Jamie's pick 103, 101 is Catwoman.
That's a good pick. That's a good.
104.
That is a great pick.
I guess he'd be,
It was a disaster of a movie.
did you know yet, Gladys? I guess that'd be 104 if you haven't.
I have not gone yet because
Okay, so you got the turn.
I took the time to do the underdog promo.
Well,
Also,
thank you for that. I'm sure Jeff appreciates it. Thanks, Jeff.
You're welcome. Also, if you're watching on YouTube, I think I need you to like go ahead and smash that like button because that would be great. I would greatly appreciate it. And for my pick for the first round, I am going with The Perfect Storm, 2000, George Clooney, Mark Wahlberg. I love that movie. I don't know if it's because Mark Wahlberg dies in it or what, but it is like the greatest movie.
This entire episode is a disaster for the people who hate spoilers.
Oh yeah, you're getting spoiled.
The Perfect Storm, St. Peterson, who's actually probably one of the few directors who I actually know his work. Excellent work, and the CGI is good. The boat, the people waiting for them to come back home, and the fact that it's a true story.
That's what bothers me is the captain's just like, yeah, we're gonna weather this storm.
Exactly, we're gonna go out there. Is it Renee Russo? Who's the female that goes looking for them?
It's
not Renee Russo, no, but the female that goes looking for them and realizes that
Diane Lang.
No, she's Mark's. No, she's one of the wives.
Oh, okay.
There's a ship captain that's a woman that goes looking for them. Josh from Notre Dame has the Titanic as his, which is a great disaster movie.
I love how Josh is from Notre Dame. That's hilarious.
I know.
He would be fine with that, but that's just.
And then
I would say Josh from Dynasty Saturday Night 5, but however.
As I'm going back around, my other one is 1963 Tippi Hedren, Alfred Hitchcock, The Birds. Because
that was on mine.
I know it was. That's why I said it.
I was thinking of another film in 1963, so I was like, damn, I was going with that one, but I guess.
The Birds is probably one of, it's like, even now, when you watch it, you're like, why? Why are they going crazy? And it's the greatest thing ever. Because Tippi Hedren is just like, no, in my hair. And she's like, she moves up there for a guy, which I think is the story. Is the real disaster of the thing. It is trying Alfred Hitchcock saying, do not move anywhere from men, ladies. This is what happens to you.
Do we find out why the birds are going crazy?
No, we never do. And that's the scary part, because I mean, they can do it anytime.
There was an X-Men comic where, they were in Alaska, and it was the original 5 X-Men, but later on when the team had grown, and they had to fight this like giant horde of birds, and they all kind of did something because they thought there was a certain threat. Jean thought there was like one of the birds wasn't actually a bird, and there was like something manipulating them, pretending to be a bird, and was like had psychic influence over them. So she attacked that specific bird. Cyclops thought they were just like a horde together that created a giant bird, so he just blasted all of them. Iceman thought it was like a shaman who was controlling them, and then Beast and Angel find this like place where like the water's polluted, so they just think it was it's because they drank this bad water and they went crazy. So they don't really know what it is at the end of it, but all 4 of the 5 had different solutions to what was the problem. So maybe the answer lies in that comic book.
Okay.
Sorry to give an answer that had nothing to do with it, but that's just in case you were curious. Maybe it's a completely different reason, but there's at least 4 theories.
He's making a connection.
Really? Because I didn't get that. But okay. I got the birds.
That was a complete disaster.
I got the birds
Gotcha.
part. I got the birds part, but that's all I got.
I flew right over that one. Okay.
Kyle, you're up.
All right. So when this topic was revealed to me, great topic, by the way, Shannon. My very first thought was this movie, and then I thought about it the next day, and it was the same, and then I thought about it the day after that tomorrow, and it was still the same. But yes, I'm going with the day after tomorrow. I thought it was a great telling of just environmental disaster. Great cast of characters: Dennis Quaid, Jake Gyllenhaal, Emily Rossum. Don't know how to Rossum. I don't know how to pronounce her last name. I'm very shameless when it comes to names, apparently.
Emmerich.
Right, yeah.
Do you know Jake Gyllenhaal's technically blind? Like he's legally blind. I read that today.
So his vision's worse
I
than
did
mine.
too.
Wow.
Yeah,
We must have been on the same website.
probably.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Me neither.
Now
Till
I
today.
did not know that all too well. Okay, now I do.
All right. Shannon.
All right, so I'm gonna go with one that I absolutely love, and it wasn't gonna be my second pick, but now it is gonna be my second pick. And actually, I'm gonna swap it because I don't think anyone's gonna pick this one. I'm gonna go with Independence Day.
Oh my
Damn it.
gosh, you guys are just taking all my stuff.
Yeah, I know. I did that on purpose. I knew it had to be on
No,
someone's
you
list. That's
saw
why.
the look on my face.
No, I didn't. I did not. I promise. I'm looking at fake nails at the moment. But Independence Day. Jeff Goldblum.
Mm,
Wow.
yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
Will Smith just giving us a summer blockbuster. I remember it was the first time I ever saw anyone fall asleep in a movie theater. I went with my brother-in-law and his mother, who was like in her late 50s, and she fell asleep during the movie. And I thought, impossible. How could you fall asleep during this 1997 classic film? Because one, it was incredibly loud. But you know what? I've since learned you can fall asleep in movie theaters.
If it's
So
too
this
loud for
is-
too long, your ears just become adjusted to it, and then it doesn't have an effect.
yeah. Welcome to Earth. What a line. The scientist in Area 51 just being wacky as hell. So great.
Randy
The-
Quaid being Racky is really great.
Randy Quaid, like that's honestly like I know people think of him probably from the vacation movies, but I think of him from that movie. He's like,
Yeah.
I'm back,
Back.
and like evidently that's the life he lives. I mean, he like lived kind of a wacky life. Like there was like a story about him and his like wife like being on the run for a while because all these people were after them, and they were like squatting in people's houses because he like was aliens or something. The whole thing.
I like the line where the president didn't know there was really an Area 57. You know, don't you think that's something I should know about?
Yeah. Just incredible stuff. Jeff Goldblum's the guy that played Jeff Goldblum's dad. I'm fully bought in. Waiting till the fat lady sings. Also, Henry Connick Jr. Like I thought after watching that movie, I'm like, oh, Henry Connick Jr. is going to be one of the biggest movie stars of my lifetime. Not true. He's in that and P.S. I Love You, and that's all I remember ever of him. But you know what? Still a fan.
P.S. I Love You is really great.
Grace, he was, yeah.
Yeah. So that's my number 2 pick.
All right.
You're welcome for
TV.
sniping that.
Okay, I don't know. I'm going to have to be better because all of mine are getting taken. Let's see. I think I will choose. Okay. I am going to do the Avengers, the first one.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, because
I like
the aliens, they destroy everything in the city. It's a
Mhm.
disaster for the people who live there.
Yep.
Yeah.
And they show in one of the Spider-Man movies like how much the cleanup of that does.
Right.
It takes a while.
And
So
even-
yeah, no, for sure. Yeah.
For DC, Batman and Superman got in their first arguments because Superman's battle killed someone Batman knew. So I know that's a
So the
different one.
effects
But
of superheroes, yeah, for sure.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
That's
And
a good
you're
pick.
up again.
Good reading.
Again. Oh, good. Yay, me. My next one will be, this one, it was The Impossible, which is a 2012 movie about the tsunami. And it's a family that's
Naomi
on
Watts.
vacation here.
Yeah.
And Tom Holland was the son. And the family's there and they get split up, and it's through the whole movie of them trying to find each other again after this tsunami in hopes that everyone's not dead or that none of them. It was 2 boys, the father and the mother.
Do you pick it because Tom Holland's in it?
No, but it was one movie that I was on the edge of my seat because I was worried that people were going to die. So it was a good movie. I think they did a good job, with the tsunami effect.
Sorry, my dog's like freaking out on something. Shannon.
Mine is 2.
Okay, so
Maybe you
now
mentioned the word tsunami. It's a trigger for them or something.
Yes, they're thinking it, huh?
Oh, Jamie's got his pick in here. Sorry to interrupt, Shannon. The Wicker Man. I watched that
Oh.
whole
We were
movie.
supposed to save it until his time,
waiting for-
Kyle.
that's funny.
Well, wouldn't we're in the third round, right? This would be his second round pick.
Yeah, he missed the second round pick.
Isn't this his second round pick? It took him
Yeah.
so long to type it. It's such a long message. It took the entire second round.
That's funny.
He said it was a total disaster of a movie. The only DVD I ever threw in the trash. He was waiting for it to get
Dang.
good, and then it just ended.
Wow.
There's a music video called "The Wicker Man." It's a song by Iron Maiden. So I guess if that's only like 5 minutes long, so that'll take way less time, and I'm sure you'll enjoy it much more. Iron Maiden.
Yeah, for sure.
So go do that instead, Jamie. I'm sorry you wasted your time with The Wicker Man, but there's another disaster.
So now I'm trying to decide if I can. I think I can snipe another one of you all's picks with this next one.
Nice.
Nah.
It's a good strategy.
I think I don't hate it
Draft for value, not for need. We're always saying that. I'm going for 2.
because like I feel pretty confident about my other picks that I'm like, okay, like I like those, but I want to snipe. I want to just snipe one more
All
if I
right.
can. Let's see. Poseidon Adventure.
Fuck me.
Yeah,
Which-
that's mine
Which?
too.
All right. Which one?
The 1972.
72.
I hate you so much right now.
And now that I
So
mentioned it, there's the one with Kurt Russell too, because he's my number 1A in life. But yes, the
Whatever.
1972 version. Oh, that makes me feel good. Gene
Well done,
Hackman.
shit.
Gene Hackman
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
on a ship. It's going down, and he's trying to save lives.
Shelley Winters.
This was
Ernestburg mine.
during a time of kind of disaster movies. There's another movie I'm not going to mention, but around the same time, and it's also a disaster. But I just remember so vividly watching the Poseidon Adventure and being like, "Oh my gosh, this is incredible!" And then the one with Kurt Russell came out, and I was like, "Well, I love this one too." I don't have to, limit myself to being like, I wish they'd make a remake of this, because they did.
Ugh.
So
When I went on my
I'm glad
first cruise, I thought of the
Ooh.
Poseidon Adventure.
Sure, that was a great
But
thought.
no one there knew it. Nobody was a movie buff. And I said, oh my gosh, this is because we were a group going on the cruise. And I said, this would be the Poseidon Adventure.
yeah,
And they
if this thing
looked at me
turns
like I-
sideways or upside
Yes.
down. Yeah, so glad I could take that from you. That's a
Yeah.
really fun movie.
It is a fun movie. Shelley Winters saving them. That's the awesome scene.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. That's my pick. You're welcome.
Whatever.
Not a problem.
Kyle.
Is it me or Jamie? I forget. Jamie goes after.
You. Kyle. You, and then Jamie, and then me.
Jamie after me in the odd rounds. Okay. All right. I'm gonna go with another early 2000s movie. Since I've got a theme, that's where I'm sticking. What I know, but this was one I didn't even not necessarily intend to watch it. But something I hadn't really heard of. I was hanging out with a friend, and we were just figuring out what movie to watch, and we saw this one kind of pop up on available options, and we watched it. And it was honestly fantastic. K9, The Widowmaker. Anyone seen it?
Wait, what is it?
It's called K9, The Widowmaker.
Like the dog?
Nope. It's a movie about a submarine, a 2002 film starring
Oh, yeah.
Harrison Ford and Liam Neeson.
Ooh.
About a 60s Soviet nuclear sub that during test exercises starts to malfunction. Specifically, the reactor starts to leak, and the imminency of potential global catastrophe in nuclear fashion could cause a war if any of the bombs that were armed on it ignited as well. So it was very tense, very stressful movie, and war. There's heroes and villains on both sides, and certainly pay homage to the Russian heroes on that sub. Because it is based off a true story. Guess what, folks? I mean, no spoilers there. We haven't destroyed ourselves yet nuclearly. We might eventually, but we haven't yet. So we know that it didn't end in disaster, but it very well easily could.
We're choosing a very slow way by hurting the environment so much that we won't be able to survive.
Yay!
Death by 1,000 cuts. We're choosing that instead.
Sorry, Planet. But also, I'm going with K9, The Widowmaker. That's my third round pick.
And Jamie's third round pick is sticking with his theme of movies that are a disaster. is Super Mario Brothers from the 1990s. Which
John Leguizamo. What an ugly human.
wait, he was in the 1990s ones too.
That's the only one he was in.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. This one was a cartoon, the latest one.
Oh,
Animation.
1990s not animation.
No.
They were actual people playing the
And
Mario
it was-
Brothers.
Yeah, it was Bob Haskins, who is incredible.
You can understand why it was a disaster just off the premise, right, Gladys? Like, what a horrible idea, right?
Bob Hoskins.
Yeah, I
And
like
John
Bob Hoskins.
Leguizamo.
CJ joining us here, and he's
What's
bringing
up?
up
Aloha, my friend.
I Am Legend, which is not taken. Of course, Gladys would never take it, and I think none of us wanted to take it to
Yeah,
Gladys.
dog
Hobson.
dies.
Good job, CJ.
That's the disaster of that one. The dog.
But it's also a
dies.
great movie. As much as
Yeah, it
it
is
is, it is one of my favorite Will Smith movies. I mean, it's funny he does disaster movies so well. Already mentioned times.
Just a little tidbit about I Am Legend. There's that scene where he like thinks like the mannequins been moved outside, right, by the creatures. Well, they had an actual like mime play that scene and be in that scene. So like it looks like it moves, but like you're like not really sure, but it actually does move. But it's a mime, so he's like actually so still and he barely moves. And like so it's like such a trick. You're like, I don't in no way it moves. It's a mannequin, but it actually does move. And that's the scene where things go wrong for old Sam.
I haven't seen the movie, so I'm not really sure what you're talking about. But
You should watch it. It really is a good one.
the dog dies.
Well, you know what? And I think that's maybe the point where as soon as you see the mannequin, then just stop watching. So watch it up to that point, and then
Oh, the mannequins before. Okay.
Yeah.
I might be able to do that.
okay. Hope I didn't mess you up there.
Just watch
Really
the whole
pay attention to
movie.
that mannequin.
I don't watch movies where dogs die. All right. Here's the thing. I could go early, but Shannon has already proven that he's taking my
Picks.
ones that I thought no one would take with the side adventures. So I'm going the Towering Inferno as my next one.
There it is.
1974, Steve McQueen, Paul Newman, Faye Dunaway,
Yeah.
William Holden. The cast alone, forget the catch. It's like before like movies became like disaster movies. Towering Inferno, they're in a tower. It goes on fire. And Paul Newman has to get everyone out. And I love Paul Newman, so
It's like 9/11
Hello,
with
Steve
more
McQueen.
attractive people.
exactly. Which sorry, everyone. But it's
Yeah.
and there's no planes. It just goes on fire. It just gets on fire, and they have to get out. And there's no dog that gets them out. And there's like get out. Okay. And then my second one, I'm gonna go back, and I'm gonna take. Okay, I'm gonna take Pompeii 2014 because it has Kit Harington in it. That's slowly the only reason I'm taking it. I love the movie. They all die. We all know what happens when Mount Vesuvius erupts. But Kit Harington.
Spoilers! In case you haven't been paying it to the last 2,000 years of history, folks.
But Kit Harington plays a slave who's a gladiator who falls in love with the senator's daughter. And when, like, no one believes that this volcano is going to erupt, but he understands what's going to happen and he tries to go and save her. What up, Yumi? And, of course, like the couple that's entwined when you discover Pompeii, that's Kit Harington and the girl. I don't know who she is, but Carrie Ann Moss is in it too, pre-Matrix. So Pompeii is my other one. Jamie, we'll wait for you can put yours in. Kyle.
All right, so look at that. Another early 2000s movie for Kyle. I don't know if Gladys or Terry would have picked this. I would expect maybe Shannon would pick this at some point. This seems like his type of movie. So I'm going to take it now. Maybe sniping Shannon.
Yes,
Sniper.
please.
Titan AE.
Oh.
That's a
Yeah.
good
That
pick.
wasn't. I didn't snipe Shannon, but I'm still happy to get that movie. For those who didn't know, it's an animated movie. Hey, another Bill Pullman movie because he was also in Independence Day. It stars Matt Damon, Bill Pullman. Originally, was actually supposed to be a live action movie, and I think that's why they had the budget to pay such big actors. And then turned it into an animated movie. Essentially, this alien race made of energy comes and destroys the Earth. And that's basically what happened. And so humanity through the movie is surviving on various ships for the next decade, trying to. There's sort of a plan in place to recreate a planet Earth. So it's Titan is the name of the main ship they're on, and AE stands for After Earth. So no spoilers saying they destroyed the movie because I think that literally happens in the first 10 minutes. So
Get down.
kind of the premise is humanity's existence and survival after Earth is destroyed.
It's animation.
Yes.
Yeah, but it's very, very good.
It's good. It's good. 2000s computer graphic imagery animation. Like it's very well done.
Nice. All right. Is that our first animation one? Yes. Way to go, Kyle. Shannon. If you take
So
another
my
one of
next
mine,
pick is
I'm
going
going
to
to mute.
be.
Let you know right now.
What'd you say?
If you pick another one of mine, I'm muting you for the next round.
That's firm but fair. I'm gonna go mute for just a second.
He can be the mime. He's the mime, and I am.
Okay, so
He
my
has a
next
mannequin
pick.
hand. Watch it move. And to answer Jamie's question, we're in round 4 right now.
My next pick is another one of those. It's not really good, but disaster movies are the most fun. And I love the cast in this movie, and the premise is absolutely just so stupid.
I think I know what
Just
this
to
is gonna be.
say, it's the movie The Core.
Oh, okay, yeah. I mean, this is also, yeah. That makes
It's
sense too. I was thinking something else, but yeah.
Yeah, me too.
It's Aaron Eckhart, it's Hilary Swank, Delroy Lindo, Stanley Tucci, and the nerdy kid from some other movie that whatever. This is
Isn't it
probably, that's really raunchy.
Elijah Wood?
No, it's the kid from I can't remember his name. Either way,
What's the movie?
basically
from?
the premise that it's about is the planet's core is slowly stopped, like the rotation is stopping, and it's causing earthquakes and birds to fly, like migrations to be all over the place. Everything is going wonky because the gravitational pull or whatever of the earth is out of whack. The whole premise is that they've now built this what is almost like a bullet train to go to the center of the core of the earth and set off explosions to create more rotation to get the earth back to normal. Because this one scientist ended up like creating something that they were like going to use to like create earthquakes and weather changes or whatever, and that's what messed up the core in the first place. And the kid, the nerdy kid that's in the movie, he's like hacking the planet. It's tremendous. He's like eating pizza rolls and Red Bulls the whole time, and he's like trying to like basically his whole job is to suppress any kind of news that this is going out, this thing is happening, right? And Stanley Tucci is smoking cigarettes, and honestly, pretty cool. And Hilary Swank is the pilot, I believe, of the ship, and like they have like this whole system that's like this X-ray system that can like see ahead of them. It's unbelievably terrible. Will I watch it? Yeah, I'll watch it again. I'll watch it a few more times in my life. I know
It's a core part of your childhood.
I wasn't even a child. I was like a young adult when I watched this for the first time. But like Delroy Lindo, since the movie 60 Seconds or Less with Nicolas Cage, like I'll love him forever because of that.
That is a great movie.
Aaron Eckhart is convincing, but Stanley Tucci, like you can practically put him in anything, and I'm like, I could just watch the Stanley Tucci scenes, right? So,
Stanley Tucci's the shit. Like
he really is.
He can play nice guys. He can play bad guys. He could just like sit in a chair in a movie, and he would be probably the most interesting thing going on.
I think he practically does that in 2 movies, like in Devil Wears Prada, and then like what's the
that's
other movie with Cher and
Moulin Rouge.
Yeah, Moulin Rouge, or is it? It's either that or some other movie
where he plays Cher's like boy wonder or whatever, but he's always Moulin
like
Rouge.
I think he's just like standing around the whole time. And I'm like,
it's Stanley Tucci.
Yeah.
What are you doing, Terry?
I have to feed my dog, or she's gonna bark
It's
the
going
whole
to be
time.
a disaster if you don't.
It will be a disaster if I don't feed her. So I'm getting her water and her food.
Well, you're up.
I'm up. I'm ready.
Okay.
I'm going to. I am going to do Airplane,
Which one?
the 1980. It's the Leslie
First one.
Nielsen
Yeah,
comedy.
the one that was
The
more funny.
spoof. Yes, yes. And don't call me Shirley.
Surely.
What did he say? Have you ever seen a man in a cockpit or something? It's like jokes that would never.
Terry's giving her dog filtered water, everyone.
Yes, I am.
Dude
Yeah.
taking off the sunglasses to show sunglasses under
It shows
Yes,
dramatic.
yes. And this is a bad day to give up smoking.
Yeah. And then it's all sorts of other things. This is a bad day to give up cocaine. This is a bad day to stop stapling my hand to the table. I don't know. I just made that one up.
I know, but it was fun.
It had some really good jokes in there. It had some really great one-liners. Leslie Nielsen was really, I liked it. I like it. All right, you have another one.
Okay. My other one, I wasn't ready for that one. My other one is going to be a serious one. It is Contagion.
Ooh, that's a good pick.
That is a good
Yeah,
pick.
with
And it's on my
Lawrence
list.
Fishburne. And I gotta get my
Lewis
paper.
Say
Matt-
no more.
Matt
Lawrence Fishburne,
Damon.
I'm in.
I know. Matt Damon.
Yes, Matt Damon, Jude Law.
Jude Law.
Yeah, he was the bad guy. Well, not necessarily the bad guy, but he
Yeah.
tried to be the bad guy.
And it's
Reference
pretty
Forrest
much, pretty much came true.
Yes, I was going to say, I honestly had not really watched it. And then when we had this to go to do my research, it came up and I played it and I thought, oh my gosh. And this was before
They
us.
predicted the future.
It did.
I read an article during the height of COVID and it was like, hey, don't watch this movie right now. And you know what I went home and did?
You
And
would have watched
I'd already
it.
seen the I'd already seen the movie, but I was like, I'm gonna go home and watch it again, just to, really. Is this ever gonna end?
Anyone ever hear of Pink Flamingo? I've never heard of it.
I've never heard of it. John Waters, 1970s,
John Waters is the director. Apparently, one of the actors is a turd. So
in Jamie's estimation.
turd sandwich, everyone. Who's voting for the turd sandwich?
Shannon, you're up.
That's what we're gonna do in November. Jesus.
Smart,
Okay.
Americans. Be smart. Be smart.
God, I have 2 more rounds. This is great. Okay, so I'm gonna pick. There's an obvious pick, but I'm gonna pick the one that really stuck with me. They both did. I'm gonna pick Volcano
Ooh.
with Tommy Lee Jones.
Tommy
So
Lee.
this is not the movie that I won't name, but it's not the one with Pierce Brosnan. So what stuck with me from the movie Volcano was in LA. It's kind of starting or whatever, and they have like the oil pit or whatever. That's not what it's called, but they have like a pit there. And just like
The tar pits.
yes, the tar pits. That's what it is. And they're like kind of going off a little bit. And you're like, what's going on? But there's this specific scene where they're in the subway, and this guy, the lava's coming. He's been like saving lives or whatever. He's trying to get off the subway, but there's lava like flowing under hot magma. I don't know what we call it. Flowing under the train, and he like goes to jump and like get off the train. He doesn't make it, and his legs are just melting under him. And he's like just slowly. And
He's
like,
trying to walk through it.
He's trying to walk through it, but his legs are melting away. Tremendous scene.
Oh my God.
Love Tommy Lee Jones. That really stuck with me. So that's my next pick.
I do love Tommy Lee Jones. Do you love me some Tommy Lee Jones?
CJ.
Todd.
Well, CJ's going with Gattaca. Something else I've never heard of before.
You never heard of Gattaca?
It is Ethan Hawke
Yeah.
and his
Isn't Jude Law in it?
lover. Yeah, Jude Law, Ethan Hawke, and
I don't remember the female.
it's the one he had a daughter with.
Oh, Uma Thurman.
Yeah, Uma Thurman.
Oh. Huh.
It's
Okay.
pretty poignant.
Yeah.
We don't know if Ethan Hawke dies, but most likely.
It's a good movie actually. It's one of the very
Editing disasters. Okay. Yeah.
I might have to.
Good job,
I might have
humans.
to. I might have to change rooms. My iPad's about to die. So
Okay.
if my screen goes black, I'm still here.
Yeah, you are.
Mhm.
Kyle,
Complete disaster then. All right.
I tried to save you from that. I tried, Ken.
No. You tried to get me to go quickly. Sorry. You're failing, Gladys. I'm
It
so
was
sorry.
gonna happen.
All right. Well, look at this. Kyle is going to pick. For some reason, referring himself in the third person.
Exactly.
But I'm going to pick another early 2000s movie, Vertical Limit.
Wow.
Never heard of that.
Wow.
Shannon has.
Uh,
Terry, have you
backstory,
heard of
please.
this one? Or
I'm not.
okay, so it's funny. One of my early movies was K9. This is an expedition to climb Count K2, which I believe is the second tallest mountain in the world.
Yeah.
And there's an avalanche that hits during the expedition, so a few of them are trapped. And there's another expedition that goes up to rescue them. And then there's more avalanches, so they're in danger. Yeah, pretty much that. It's some interesting characters. And,
okay.
I think
Vertical
the dude who
Limit.
plays Robin in the George Clooney Batman is the main actor.
Chris O'Donnell.
Yes.
And he's a mountain climber. He goes up as part of the second expedition because his sister is on the first expedition, and he's going up as part of a way to rescue her.
All right. Okay.
I thought it was a cool movie, but yeah, it could be disaster for the avalanches, but some might also say it's disaster because it wasn't a good movie. But
Hey, Lewis.
No, fun movie.
Gladys says hello, Lewis. She's good. I'm online.
Go ahead.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm up. I'm gonna pick.
Sorry, yeah.
Well, unless when Jamie picks one, I'm going the 2003 Paycheck. Aaron Eckhart, Ben Affleck, Uma Thurman. I can watch this movie like every day. I don't know why I'm not a huge Affleck fan. I do like Aaron Eckhart, but it's Ben Affleck plays this guy who he is Aaron Eckhart's the villain in this, and he has built this machine that is going to destroy the world. And Ben Affleck, he's able to build things, but he signs like an NDA, so they erase his memory, and he realizes what's going to happen. So he sends himself like little things to let him know to stop what's happening. And the whole film is when he goes back, when they wake him up, like he doesn't know, but he gets an envelope that has like a letter to himself, and he gets a stamp, and he is predicting the future and trying to stop Aaron Eckhart from creating this World War IV. And it's awesome. Mainly because Aaron Eckhart is like the greatest bad man ever. Rocky IV is Jamie. Half the movie was flashbacks, montages, and Apollo's entrance. The best part was when you get a glimpse of the woman Apollo has an affair with. She's the only black dancer during his entrance.
That movie is awesome. Rocky stops the Cold War. I don't know what the disaster part is, other than Apollo dying.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. That's the disaster.
Yeah, I guess that's the disaster is that Apollo dies. But otherwise, that's a perfect movie.
And the perfect movie. Rocky stops what?
He stops the Cold War.
Okay. I'm sorry. I've only seen the first Rocky movie. All hands.
Well, Rocky IV is the best one.
All right. I'm going to pick my next one because the next one is War of the Worlds, Tom Cruise, Dakota Fanning, 2005. I've seen, like, I like it. I'm not going to lie. It's
great.
Yeah,
it
is a good movie. It's a great Tom Cruise movie. And it's a great
radio play.
It's Steven Spielberg. He was the director, right, of that one?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think that's the last Tom Cruise movie that he doesn't.
Screenplay by Josh Freeman, produced by Kathleen Kennedy.
It's the last Tom Cruise movie that he doesn't what?
like so he's since that movie he started just working with one director basically, and that's the last movie before that happens.
Oh, wait. What's the one with Jimmy Fox? What movie? What Tom
That's
Cruise? movie?
that's Michael Mann, but
It's Michael Mann.
Collateral
Yeah.
but that was before that movie.
That was before War of the Worlds.
Yeah.
Oh, timeline.
Lateral would have been like 2003, whereas War of the Worlds was like probably 2006.
War of the Worlds was 2005. Ow, I'm certainly.
Jamie's never seen Rocky V.
How about Rocky 5000?
That's from a movie.
Kyle, you're up.
Oh, okay. I am up.
Oh, hey.
Well, Don't Look Up. That's what I'm going with. It's
That's a
not an
great
early
pick.
2000s movie, but a recent one, 2021. It's basically a new version of Armageddon, but way less serious and much more of a dark comedy.
Yeah.
Just kind of the stupidity of humanity and media and also rich greed and how that can.
Is that the one with like almost everybody in it? Like it's
Yeah,
all
and it's
named
on
after-
Netflix.
Leonardo DiCaprio, Jennifer Lawrence.
Netflix.
Quit telling me
Timothy
things on
Chalamet.
Netflix when I don't have your password. That's just like rude.
So don't look it up, Glennis. But Don't Look Up, I think, is a good.
I think I
Yeah.
saw like the first 15 minutes of it, maybe.
It's the same
Mhm.
director from the movie The Big Short, but
Oh, okay.
basically they made a movie about climate change.
Okay.
And it is. I
Yeah.
rewatched it earlier this year, and you know what? It is good.
The dude from Sons of Anarchy shooting a Tommy gun at a meteor. Ha! Take this, meteor.
Yeah,
The best.
Wait.
Ron Perlman.
Oh,
Perlman,
okay.
Yeah. There's literally just like
Not
machine
the hot
gun to
one,
the
Gladys.
meteor.
Calm
I
down.
know. It was like now I have to find out.
Not Charlie Hunnam.
No, not Charlie Hunnam. Sorry.
Okay, then I'm back out again.
Not the Scottish dude. Just-
Wait, who's? I don't think he's Scottish. I think he's English. I think he's from England.
Well, no. I was talking about a different character.
Oh,
I'm gonna go through the list of all the different Sons of Anarchy
in
characters.
Sons of Anarchy, there's a Scottish guy too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've never seen Sons of Anarchy.
Yes.
I've just seen Charlie and I.
it's a good show. Honestly,
Uh,
Charlie Hunnam's the main character, so you see lots of him. So
Mhm.
Well, I could just go on Instagram and like Google Sons of Anarchy and
probably less effort. Fair enough.
see exactly. See lots of them with.
So don't look up, but look up Charlie Hunnam.
Shannon, you're up.
This is my last pick, correct?
Nope. You have two more. You have this
Two
one and then
more?
another one. This one and then
Oh,
another.
baby, this is exciting. This is exciting for me. I'm going to get all the picks I wanted, and I snaked some of yours. This is
Yeah.
perfect. What a great draft for your boy here. My next pick is going to be the movie Twister.
Ah.
Ah.
So
What a
I've watched
twist!
this movie. I've watched this movie a ton. There's just so many things that are fun about this movie. There's a second one coming out. Who knows how that's going to be? But Glenn Powell's in it, so I'll see it for that reason. But just the scene alone, where they're like, "Oh, we're near your friend's house," and they're like, not saying her name yet, but they're like, "Food." Like that scene sticks with me forever and always.
Wait,
Them-
you're gonna have to give me context on that. I don't understand what's happening.
So the actor that died, I'm gonna forget his Hoffman or God, what's his fucking name? Sorry, I should have looked it up, because I knew I was gonna do this. But basically, they just got done with like some harrowing act with a twister,
Okay.
and there's a scene where they're like near Helen Hunt's like aunt's house, basically,
Okay.
and Philip Seymour Hoffman
Love him.
is like, he's like, "Oh, we're close to this part of Kansas or Oklahoma or whatever," and he's like, and they're like, "We could go get food at this woman's house, and we could stay at this lady's house," and they're like, food, and then like she's like serving them steak and eggs for breakfast. It's a whole thing. Either
Okay.
way, what a plot. There's like a love triangle in like a Twister movie, and then like the bad guy's like annoying and they're stupid, and I guess like what a time like in the 90s for that to happen. And then like, storm trucks, like storm chasers became like a big thing after that. Like what propaganda for news
chasers.
industries. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Okay.
Twister.
Twister. Terry. 2 picks.
I have 2. Okay, I'm going to start with my World War Z, 2013 Brad Pitt.
Yum.
Great pick.
I had to throw in a zombie movie. I mean, what more disaster do you need without,
Zombies. Brad Pitt.
Right.
One
I
arm.
feel like we would defeat zombies at this point. I mean, if they were fast zombies like that, it would be hard. But like, just imagine, like, it would be on Twitter pretty quickly,
Yeah.
or on Instagram or TikTok or whatever. It'd be on the internet pretty quickly, and be like, okay, we know what to do. Shoot him in the head. If you get bit, don't hide it. You know.
Call Brad Pitt. And who's the guy from?
We should do that anyway, for sure.
That's a good point. And the guy from the dad from Supernatural.
Jeffrey Dean Morgan.
Yes, please. Yes. Call them both.
When I was going through talking to my wife about what could be potential options here, one of the ones she wanted for sure to be mentioned was World War Z. So.
Which World War Z?
Wife, thanks you too.
You're
I'm Canadian. I'll say it's World War Z. Sorry.
Okay.
I also call the band ZZ Top when they play. Background.
Terry, your last pick.
Okay, are we going to have an alternate? Because
Of course.
Honorable mention.
Okay. All right. So then I'm going to throw out the 2012 John Cusack.
Oh, where he.
At first I thought you were talking about the year, and then I realized.
I know, me too.
He jumps a limousine in that movie like a badass.
Yes, and because they're all trying to get to this ship, and most people are thinking like a spaceship or something, and it ends up like Noah's Ark. It's just a huge boat that they're all trying to get to as the world is coming to an end, or
reshaping itself. Amanda Peet is in that, and she's a forever babe. Wow.
And they have a dog that lives. They saved the dog, Gladys.
That is Independence Day too. They saved the dog in Independence Day. You guys forgot to mention that. Shannon, while you're Skyping it. It's like the most important thing besides Jeff Goldblum.
Okay.
The dog
Watch
jumps
I Am Legend.
Watch what?
Watch I Am Legend.
Shannon, you're up.
All right. I got 8% battery left. We'll see how long we go.
Okay.
So with my last pick, this is tremendous. I can't believe I got all my picks, everyone. I'm going with the movie Moonfall, which didn't do great. Some people did not love it. It's like Halle Berry, Patrick Wilson, who's the guy from like The Conjuring. And I can't remember the actor's name, but Sam from Game of Thrones. And basically the moon is falling towards the earth and it's making gravity go awry. It's absolutely another bonkers movie. Not as bonkers as The Core, but pretty bonkers. It turns out that there's like this AI that's like trying to destroy the earth, and there was humans on another planet, and they seeded earth using the moon, and there's a good AI that's trying to help us on the moon. It's incredible, but you don't know that until the second half of the movie. It's so good. Like, it's so very good. I wish that it was going to get the sequels that it deserved, but it's not, and I'm sad about that. Such a good film.
Does the moon look super creepy like it does in the Zelda game where the moon's collapsing?
No, but it gets so close, and it's like so funny because like it like is still rotating around the earth, and so like as it gets closer, like things would just start like lifting up, and they fall as it goes by. It's so good.
Kyle.
Well,
All right, I got
Jamie's going with
6%.
Every Home Alone movie after number 2. I actually thought Home Alone 3 was decent. That is very cheesy because it's like these spies and this like microchip or something that gets hidden in a toy. Like it's they stretch that one.
Wait, Shannon, Kyle, before you go, Shannon, do you need to throw in your honorable mention before you run out of batteries, or will you make it through?
I won't make it through.
Honorable mention, Shannon.
I'm gonna go with, and I'm sorry if this is someone else's pick because we already said Contagion, so I'm glad that happened.
You've sniped everyone already, so it's fitting if you do.
I'm glad that one happened. I'm gonna go with San Andreas with The Rock
Oh,
and Carla.
why did I let you do an honorable mention?
Gladys.
You suck. You suck. Oh my God, you suck so bad.
Shannon wins the day today. Good
I
job,
have
Shannon.
never
You
ever
win
let you do an
today.
honorable.
I didn't mean it. I take it back. What's the
No, it's too late.
movie with Dennis? What's the movie with Dennis Hoffman and the monkey?
No, Dad, you can't say that either. What is happening? What is
He
happening?
just took
Quiet,
both.
Shannon.
Both
What
his
is
honorable
happening?
mentions. Way to just.
Oh my God.
All right.
Oh
Well, I
my
love you guys.
Bye, Shannon.
You're awesome, Shannon.
Oh my God.
Great
Bye,
make-
topic.
I'll make sure that I have more battery next time.
Yeah, you got to hear us.
Yeah, that is
Jeez.
true.
Well, look, I have 4% left. Let's see how
Okay,
far
well,
we
tell
go.
us
Now that
about San Andreas.
no, I
No,
won't.
As if
That's
we
your
he
didn't
pick.
know.
can't.
As if
Nope.
we didn't know.
No, that's your guys' picks. I didn't have any honorable mentions this week. I got all my picks in.
Oh,
Kyle, you're up. Last pick
Well,
for the
I guess
round
Jamie's
7.
question: who's Kevin? Oh, Kevin from Home Alone or Predator? Oh,
yeah.
It's Predator.
yeah. Are you really thinking? You really comparing Predator to those two bozo burglars that would fall down the stairs? Like I think Predator would be.
I wish I had more. I wish I had more battery because I have an incredible story about Home Alone 2 from this week. That's cool. But let's go. Keep going.
All right, well,
Kyle?
I'll try and rush through it. So, I'm going with the 1963 movie, not the one that was taken earlier. So I'm glad I still get this. And I actually end up with all 7 of my movies too. Now my thing wasn't sniping all of yours. I would just go with a bunch of weird ones that no one was going to take anyway. So perfect. I got everything I wanted. The Day of the Triffids. This is also based on a novel. I don't know if any of you have read it or seen it. It's also done remakes, miniseries, and such. Day of the Triffids.
Tell me.
right,
do
so-
part of it. It sounds familiar.
So there's a meteor shower that happens, and it actually has cataclysmic events because it blinds almost every human that witnesses it. Now, the main character had just had eye surgery, and so that night his eyes were all bandaged up and didn't see it. So he wakes the next day to find complete chaos. Now, something either deliberately caused this, or the meteor shower had different chemicals, and it caused these plants to exist. They called the triffids, and it's these like lifelike plants that would eat humans and they were trying to civilize and take over the world. So they were also very intelligent. They communicate with each other. So it was all about just trying to defeat this new enemy of these like killer plants that were going to take over the world.
That's like the
Really
happening.
cheesy. This is only the 60s could do stuff like this.
All right. Oh, shit. Fuck.
I don't know if anyone's going with the Day of the Triffids or if I.
No, I didn't have that one.
I didn't either.
You're safe on that. For my last pick, I honestly have had like whatever, Shannon. Shaun of the Dead, Simon Pegg, 2004.
Nice.
There
Best
you
zombie
go.
movie.
That's a good one.
One of the best zombie movies ever. That's so funny. So,
Simon Pegg's just really good. I don't.
yeah. No,
Mhm.
Yeah.
hilarious. That's one of his funnier movies too.
Yeah, I love him. I don't have an honorable mention because I had to pull that one out my butt because someone took all mine. I don't want to mention any names, but it does become an Instagram.
Well, he didn't
influencer.
actually mention the Dustin Hoffman movie, right? So
Yeah, he did. He said.
No, I didn't
Yeah.
say the name of it. I
Outbreak.
didn't
Say
say
the
the name
name.
Outbreak would have been my honorable mention
a
because
satire movie called Disaster Movie, and I thought of that one, but I also have never seen it. And I felt
I've
that
never
Nice.
seen that one.
I thought everything after Scary Movie 4 was pretty bad. So
Yeah, I didn't see that. Or
they
Scary
just
too.
recycled that a little too much.
Terry, do you have
I
Terry?
did.
Kyle?
I had a side one. San Andreas was my honorable mention. And if I can't do that one, then I have Sharknado.
Yes,
Ooh.
that's what I thought Shannon was talking about earlier when he was talking about the core.
And Kyle, what's your honorable mention?
So actually, Jamie brought one up here. The Tooth Fairy 2. We didn't even need the first one, so mine make a second one. That's awesome. All right, so I'm gonna go all the way back, 1933, and I haven't actually seen this, but in my research, I found that Deluge was technically the first ever disaster movie. So the premise is these massive tsunamis hit the United States and like almost like completely drowns the entire East Coast. And so civilization's kind of in chaos. The main character is a man with a wife and I think 2 daughters, and they separate. And so he believes they're dead and they believe he's dead. And I think the premise seems to follow both of them on their new journeys through this new civilization. I think eventually he becomes the mayor of a new town, and then he eventually finds them again at the very end. So Again, I guess the movie's almost 100 years old, so I think it's safe to spoil. But yeah, The Luge.
Yeah.
The Luge. All right.
It kicked off the genre. It was the first disaster movie ever, 1933.
Some weird. Shannon, does it get an honorable mention because I already had one and two, and
even though no one has any other picks after, he'd still snipe us somehow.
he still cites us. That's really great. We want to thank everyone who listened in today. For those of you who didn't hear the earlier promo, go to Underdog because they sponsor us and they're really great. And it's starting football season. Kyle, where can people find you with your wonderful stats and football work?
Well, you can find me on X at Center Says. I'm also part of the Going for Two Live network. Mondays. So this upcoming Monday, June 10th, I believe. Yes,
yep.
10th. Will be another episode of Press Coverage. I'll have TJ McKinley on joining me. So TJ, someone who had previously appeared as a guest on the Full Press Packers pod. But yes, I'm also with Full Press Coverage, Full Press Fantasy pod, Full Press Packers pod. Fantasy-wise, it's like startup season. We've gotten out of rookie draft season. Now we're really talking about startup strategy, startup ADP. I'll go through my dynasty rankings, which you can find on goingfor2.com, as well as you can find other people's rankings there too, like Josh, who was in the chat earlier, wrote on he's part of that consensus rankings. Obviously, Jeff, Brian Ford, I believe Sirfos as well. So yeah, all of our aggregate rankings together, and you can see each of our individual rankings. And there's all sorts of other great content available at goingfor2.com. That's also a link to the Discord there as well.
And before we talk about Shannon, the Instagram influencer, where you should be watching him and listening to him on Instagram at Americana_Allen. Terry, do you not have a wish list for your school?
Oh, I do.
Where might we find that if we want to help your school out or you out?
Well,
for your school?
It would be at Amazon, but I'll send it to you.
Don't send it to me. I'm not going to help you.
No.
You send it to you so you can send it to other people.
Thank you, Kyle.
That's how you can help, Gladys.
Yes, there you go. Thank you.
So it's on Amazon, but how do you find it on Amazon?
I don't know, to be honest. I've been asking my friend how the wish list works. So that's why I said I'll send it to you, because it says it's public, but no one seems to see it. So I don't know.
You go on Amazon under wish list and look for Terry's school. What is it under your name or is it under the school?
It would be under my name. Terry
Dasquez. Terry Dasquez. And
actually it says Terry first grade, because I'm moving to first grade this year.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay, it's going to teach first graders now in Florida. So if you want to help out first graders in Florida, Terry, which we all know Florida needs all the help they can get, go to Amazon for Terry's wish list or his school. Shannon.
All right, I'm at 1%.
1%? Your Instagram influencer at Americana_Allen. Go.
Thanks for having me on. You'll find me at Paul Mitchell The School Denver for one more month. Then I'm out of here, hopefully, on to new things. We'll see.
Head.
And then thank you for having me on. I hope everybody enjoyed the show. Glad I could get a couple picks there. Appreciate you so much. See you guys.
Bye, Shannon. Thank you.
Bye.
And we will be back in 2 weeks, or not next week, but the week after. Kyle, what are we drafting?
Well, we're either going to draft one-word albums, but if that's too complicated for people, we're going to draft best board games ever. So I'll let Gladys and Terry decide, essentially. You can decide right now if you want to. So
I know Terry's going to pick. She's going to pick board games. So board games it is. We will be drafting the best board games.
Thank you, Kyle.
You know, I thought it was, just thinking of different topics, I was thinking of a few that, stuff we did last year. And last year we did a running backs episode, just best running backs. I was thinking,
like I said,
that. But then I kind of, what haven't we done yet? And then I was thinking, board games. So, what is that? That's June 20th. June 20th. We're talking board games.
Terry, Jimmy wants to know, aren't you a little old to be in the first grade?
Never too old to learn.
I keep trying, but
I'll help you stay young, Terry.
Yes.
As for Jamie wanting to be part of the Going for Two rankings, reach out to Jeff. I don't know. I don't even remember how I got in it. So just talk to Jeff. I'm sure if you've done ECR rankings in the past, it'll be easy because they'll have them there. If you haven't done Fantasy Pros ECR rankings yet, Jamie, still talk to Jeff, because then he'll
I-
reach out
he
to
has. I
Blaine
know he has.
Bonds, who does it, and then Blaine will send you an email and get you set up for that. But if you've already been part of that, just talk to Jeff, and he should be able to set it up pretty easily, I think.
And I want to thank Jamie, and I want to thank CJ in Hawaii for joining us and talking to us. Aloha, my friend. I want to thank Josh, who I'm not sure if he's still here, for coming in. I want to thank Jesse Patterson, who I know is somewhere around but hasn't spoken up, and Ramon, and everyone else who joined. Thank you guys so much. We appreciate you so much. If you ever want a mock draft, just let us know. Let me know. Let Kyle know. You are more than welcome. If you have a topic that you want to mock draft, we will do it. We don't care. We have no
And if you
shame.
don't have a topic and you want to just join us as well, feel free to reach out to either
Yeah,
Ryan.
do it.
Sure.
And we will see you in not next week, but the week after. Kyle will see you next week. And his full press.
Oh yeah, Monday, right? Yeah.
Monday. All right. Terry, thank you for joining. We will see you soon.
Thank you.
And again, go to Amazon, look for wish list school, Terry, first grade.